So welcome everybody, and it's really a pleasure to be with you, to share with you today. And I'd like to invite you all to take a moment with me to tune in. Initially we're going to tune in listening to our breath, and then we're going to tune in with the Ad Gure Name Mangala Charan mantra for protection through becoming aware as we attune to the subtle illumination and guidance of that presence within us, and that's present and inherent to the whole universe. We attune with Ad Gure Name to primal wisdom, Jugad Gure Name to that wisdom that has existed throughout all time. Sat Gure Name, we attune to the wisdom of our true being. And Sri Gurudev Name, we attune to the great, radiant and invisible wisdom. So first of all, let's take a moment to connect with our breath. Close your eyes and focus at your third eye point. And become aware of the flow of your breath through your nostrils. And with every exhale, let yourself sink deeply into your heart center. And then I invite you to tune in with me to the Mangala Charan mantra. Inhale deep, suspend your breath. And connect with that inner wisdom that guides us in every moment. And exhale. So, today I'm presenting the celestial communication, the movement meditation, to the mantra Rayman. And Rayman literally means, oh my mind, align to this. And we will find out what we are aligning to in the mantra in a moment. The mantra is written by Guru Gobind Singh, who was the 10th Sikh Guru, and he lived in the 1600s in India, and he came from a long tradition of masters of the sound current, where they recognized how the vibrational reality is encoded within music and poetic chanting. And so this worked very deeply with the vibration of our mind and our body, our psyche, our energy field, recognizing that we can change our frequency of consciousness and our modality of perception and our inner states of feeling and thinking through the vibration of sound. And this is very poignant for this moment in time that we are all experiencing, as we stand at a kind of crossroads with our development as humanity on this planet Earth. And we're all aware of the fact that our environment is becoming less and less sustainable in the way that we interact with it, and our human psyche is also needing to be rebalanced in its expression socially, economically, interpersonally, and also in our own relationship to ourselves. And all of this is interwoven as a matrix. And what we are perhaps awakening to is the fact that we as humanity are collectively the brain of this planet. Each human consciousness is like a neuron, a brain cell within the planet Earth. And the way we interact with each other are like the synapses that are being created in this planet. And so we have a responsibility to come into coherence so that we can bring the planet into a state of vibrational harmony and coherence, so that life on this planet can continue to be sustainable for nature, animals, and ourselves as humanity, and for the planet itself. So, as we come to this crossroads, we also have the possibility that instead of aligning to harmony, that the inner programs and conditions of entanglement in the lower frequencies of our urge to fight and survive, that this can bring us into a downward spiral. And this expresses itself in our individual experience as being entrapped in situations and conditions that cause us to have feelings of insecurity and lack and pain and suffering. And this creates a kind of emotional and energetic wall around ourselves, a fearful wall that tends to trap us into this sense of individuality and feeling like we're on our own, and we need to take to survive. And as long as we are entrapped in this, we cannot look over the wall of our pain in order to recognize the others who are around us and to see that we're actually all in the same predicament, that we all share common needs and we all share a common sense of feeling, and we all enjoy coming together in harmony, and that this can be the greatest celebration and healing of our lives. But as long as we're preoccupied with our own pain, we cannot look out and see each other and experience each other and feel with each other and ultimately care for each other. And not being able to do that also keeps trapped within us our gifts that we inherently come to the earth with, to give and to share to the world. And each of us holds a gift that's like a little piece in the puzzle of the greater whole, of the greater brain of this planet, that needs to be interconnected as we connect in harmony and unison. So if we can rise above our existential fears, and instead of pulling and pushing to try to take, that we have enough moment by moment, and we can see that we are actually part of a greater whole, and that our essential being, our self, that is illuminating our mind and body, is looking through the whole of humanity. It's what we say, recognize that the other is you, or that you are in the other. And when we're able to do this and to connect in this way, we're able to pool our gifts, our insights, our understanding to come together in a synergistic form and create a think tank from which new ideas and solutions and possibilities and modalities can arise, by which we can collectively raise the energy of the planet and rebalance and find healing, and in the process to release the dysfunctionality that has held humanity entrapped and imprisoned in its own psyche. And so how does this relate to the Rayman mantra? Well, the Rayman mantra is all about aligning our mind to a frequency of harmony, to a harmonic pulse that is equal to that of what we call the golden ratio. The golden ratio is related to what's also known as the Fibonacci sequence, because the relation between the numbers in the sequence are 1.618, which is the golden ratio of phi. And we find that this golden ratio repeats itself on all levels of life. And this ratio is responsible for creating also spiral-like geometry. And these spirals of the phi mean, the phi golden ratio, exist also within our DNA. And they are codes or patterns of information that help us to create and regenerate our body, our mind, and it's inherent to all life and the universe. And so it's also the generative and regenerative formula for life in this universe. So if we can tune with our song, we can become like a chamber of resonance, whereby our bones and our blood all come into resonance, and our DNA can light up and come online, and the presence, that present being that we are, with its loving awareness, can come through and shine and elevate, bringing with it this new information, these new ideas, these new capabilities and possibilities that will enable us to bring this planet back into its harmony. So as I say, it's a crossroads. It's not given that that will happen. It's a possibility that's open to us. And one of the ways that we are discovering is that we can really make a difference by the way we tune and align ourselves individually as instruments. And if we think of the human body, if it is an instrument, we can do two things with it. We can sing and express ourselves through sound, and we can move and express ourselves through our body. And we can also pulsate with our mind and our psyche in waves and patterns in our auric field. So if we're able to bring what we sing and how we move and how we project our inner energetic and mental frequencies into a harmonious alignment, already we create a little vortex of harmony. And if we then are able to join together with others in the same way, creating lots of vortices of harmony, then we create greater harmonious impact on our planet Earth. So I'd like to just introduce to you a little bit about Phi and the harmony of Phi. The Rayman Shabad, the mantra, is also very interesting in as much as the pulse of this mantra is really vibrating in the Phi frequency. And in order to explain that to you, I have created a little video.
Here we have the Fibonacci sequence of 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 and 13, and it could go on. And this is calculated by adding. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 plus 5 is 13. So now we'll look at the rhythmic pulse of some of the poetic lines of the Rayman mantra, but not in the order in which they were written. Vaje param tar tat harko, singi sacha kaparikantala, uggate tantrang rang, bijanamadharang, Rayman e.
So if I transpose this now to the rhythm and the meter of the mantra to beats in a similar way that I was drawing there, we see here how we get this sound. Re mane bijog kamau, singi sacha kabrakantala, dyam bibut charau rahau, tate goatam baskarki, bicha namadharam, baje param tartat harko, upje ragarasaram, ugate tantarangarang, atgyan gita bandana, chaka chakra hede danav mun, chaka chaka beom bhavana, atam upades bes sanjamko, japasu ajapa jape, sada rahe kanchansi kaya, kalana kabahu vyape. So the rhythmic meter and pulse of the mantra has inherently within it this pulse of Phi. And beyond the pulse of the poetic meter, we also see that the meaning of the mantra is exactly describing the process of how we as humans can align ourselves as instruments to this Phi pulse in order to become completely resonant and radiant of our true being, which is what is then described as having a golden aura or a golden body, which is effectively because we are vibrating at the pulse of that golden mean.
If we take the pathway of this rhythmic pulse and we mirror it, then we get the shape that is the same as the spiral sea conch. The initial instruction of this Rayman mantra is to align your mind with the flow of truth, saying, "Let truth be your horn and sincerity your necklace." Here we see that the horn is this special sea conch that yogis sound to create the primal vibration of Om or Ong. That sound vibration is based on the Phi ratio, just as the shape of the conch that creates that sound, and also the rhythmic pulse of the mantra's instruction to attune to it. Re mane birajoga kamau, singi sacha kaparikantala.
Okay, and that movement that you saw at the end, singi sacha kaparikantala, is one of the movements that we have in the celestial communication, and it is representing this conch or horn of truth that we are aligning our mind to and calling in, that we can vibrate in synchrony with. And we'll be looking at that movement in a moment in a little more depth. And so before we go further, I'd like to show you the text of the mantra so you can get to know it a little bit. I won't explain it in too much depth because I'll be doing more of that during the 40-day period when we'll be working with the guidance videos, and there I'll really unpack the meaning and all its symbolism. But so that you get a sense of what it's talking about and the process that it's describing, I have created here a PowerPoint presentation. So here we have the full text, and I'm going to play with that the introduction of the track of Rayman, which has been recorded by me together with Kumari and Manvir, and it's available from my new album called Release. And at the beginning of this mantra we have my lovely friend Vijay Kaur, who is reciting the mantra with her perfect Gurmukhi pronunciation. So we'll listen to that as we look at the text together.
रे माने बिद जोग कमाओ सिंगी साच कपट कंठला ध्यान विभूत चढ़ाओ रहाओ ताती गहो आत्म बस कर की बिछा नाम धारंग बाजे परम तार ततहर को उपजय राग रसारंग उघटै तान तरंग रंग अतज्ञान गीत बंधानंग चक चक रहे देव दानव मुन छक छक व्योम देवानंग आत्म उपदेश पे संजम को जाप सो अजपा जापे सदा रहा कंचन सी काया काल ना कभू ब्यावे.
Okay, so now I'll take you a little bit further into the meaning of this. So we begin with saying, oh my mind, align yourself and practice yoga in this way. So here we have a slightly esoteric but very beautiful illustration of how these three people are aligning themselves with sound and pulse so that the geometry of their energetic vibration is aligning to harmony. And then we have Singi Sacha Kaparakantala, let truth be your horn and sincerity your necklace. So we see again, this is like the horn, which is traditional to use the sea conch in India to sound and to create that primal vibration of Om or Om. And here we see that sound current is spiraling through a golden mean conch. Dhyan Vibhuta Charao, let meditation be the ashes you apply on your body. And this has to do with, through meditation, releasing and burning the old dysfunctional conditioning in our psyche, and then allowing those ashes to be smeared on our body as a kind of filter to just be open and more sensitive for the higher vibrations that will bring us illumination and awareness and usher in this harmony. Then Tatigawatam Baskar Ki, catch your burning soul self and stop the flames. So these are the flames of our fears, our conditioning, our entanglement that distorts our soul vibration and the vibration of our consciousness, such that we are not able to really listen to or attune to or hear these harmonious vibrations. So we cannot embody them because we have again this wall of pain around us. So it's catch this burning self and stop those flames so that you can come out of this encapsulation. Bicha namadarang, let your soul be your alms bowl, collecting the sweet nam, the only support you'll ever need. The yogis and the Buddhists, traveling monks, used to travel with their alms bowl to collect and receive whatever charity or food they could attain. And these bowls were often made of metal and would sound like the Tibetan singing bowls. And so the instruction here is, let your body become like a receptive instrument to receive this sound current and to vibrate with it. Make your body like a chamber in which that can resound. And that resound will align you and will nourish and nurture and regenerate you, so it will support you. Bhaja Paramatara Tataharako, the universe plays its divine music. The shrill, subtle vibration of reality is the home of the Creator. So when we do become receptive, we can begin to hear these very subtle currents that arise within us, and they come from the source, from our origin. Becoming from the origin, that is also the home of the Creator, Har, that is bringing this harmony to manifest and regenerate on earth. Upaje Rag Prasarang. So listening to the rag, its sweet essence arises and flows. It flows through our mind and our body, through our nadis, our meridians. Ugate tan tarangarang, waves of melodies and feelings arise and flow through you. So we're getting this harmonious frequency from the source that is bringing these sweet melodies. And this begins to affect the way we feel and the way we think. So it affects our state of consciousness, what ideas we attune to, how we see and perceive reality. Atagyangita bandhanam, bind yourself with the wisdom that is harboured in this divine song, in these melodies that are arising through us. And as we do so, then those inspired thoughts and insights will come into our mind, and we will see life in a different way, from a different perspective, from a different state of being. Chakra chakra he dev danav mun. The universe spins like a potter's wheel, or even like a hurricane, releasing demons and angels, but the wise listen to neither. So when we're really attuned to the origin, then the outer experience of life doesn't affect us so much, because we are dwelling in the eye of the storm. Whether we experience demonic situations or angelic situations, we still are not swayed from abiding in our true self. And when this happens, then chaka chaka beum bhavanam, we drink the nectar and are carried in heaven's chariot. This is a figure from the Indian mythology, the king of the gods, Indra, who was the king also of the weather patterns, of storms. He also was known to carry this soma, or this nectar, which was a soma of immortality. And this is what we can experience when we really identify and root into our true being, as that true being is beyond death. Even though we will leave this body and mind behind at some point along our journey, we will continue if we are identified with that inner being. And that is the nectar of immortality, the sweetness of that vibrational true presence. We are carried like in a chariot through life. Atam upades base sanjamko, instruct and clothe your soul self with modesty and understanding. We have clothed ourselves in this Phi vibrational frequency, and it keeps us very modest in the sense of we're very coherent in our outer expression with this inner alignment, and this enables us also to be clear in our understanding. Japa so ajapa jape, repeat unto infinity, to meditate without meditating. So as long as we keep tuning to this pulse over and over again, it will become ingrained within our system, within our biorhythms, within our breath patterns, within our mental vibration and consciousness, such that at some point it becomes deeply rooted and self-sustaining. It continues to vibrate that truth without us having to consciously think about it or induce it. The inertia of this harmonious vibration takes over. And then we come to the end, Sadarahe Kanchansi Kaya. In this way, your body shall remain forever golden. And as we come into this Phi sacred geometry, we come into a toroid field, which is aligned to the golden ratio of Phi. This is the basic signature of all life forms and of planets and stars and galaxies, this toroid. When the energy within each individual toroid flows freely, the individual is connected also with the universal and can also interlock with others in harmonious patterns. And Kala Nakabahu Biape, and death shall never approach you, as we become merged with this spiral Phi signature that is at the core of our being. So I hope you found that interesting and inspiring in the way that it has inspired me and excited me, even though it's been a mantra that has been with me and in me since almost 15 years, I would say. And back then, when I first started chanting this mantra, a celestial communication, a movement meditation, came to me. And I have always wanted to compose some music for this celestial communication and to present it in a beautiful didactic way. And so now is the moment. So what I'm going to do is to share with you 2 or 3 of the movement sequences from this celestial communication. It won't be all of the movements because that's what the practice video is for. But I'd like to go a little bit into detail into these 2 or 3 movements, giving you some preparatory movements that will help you to enter into the flow and to demonstrate to you how these movements are also reiterating, reflecting the spiral Phi ratios of the meaning and the sound current. Okay, so I invite you to come sitting with me. So let's come sitting straight. Feel your sit bones rooting into the ground. Engage your navel, lift up through your diaphragm, release your shoulders, reach up through your neck. And bring your eyes to focus at your third eye point, breathing long and deep through your nose. Exhale and bring your navel in towards your spine as you shift your weight back onto your sit bones, holding your knees.
And release your head for a moment. Now push off against the ground, lift up through your navel. Pull your elbows back with your palms facing up and your chest lifted. And then we bring the shoulders forwards and the backs of the hands together as we release back and exhale. As you begin to lift, feel yourself pushing through your sit bones using your abdominals to lift up the chest. And exhale, pull the navel back. Release the head a little. Now as you inhale, come up and bring your hands facing up with your elbows downwards. And I'd like you to draw a circle like a cone with your forearm, drawing a circle with your index finger. And then change direction and change again, going forwards, in, back and out. Forwards, in, back and out. And the same with the other side. Forwards, in, back and out. And now we're going to do both of them together. And now as you bring the arms forwards, go back with the spine. As you bring the arms to your chest, lift the chest. Exhale. Inhale. In, out. In, out. Use your navel to pulsate the movement. Feel like you are winding prana around your wrists. Begin also to move your wrists in circles. Now we're going to bring the arms up. Now we're going to begin to cross the wrists above the head. First one wrist in front and then the other. Inhale, exhale. And we're about to create that horn of truth, that thigh conch. So we're going to cross right high above the head, then at the crown, then at the third eye, then at the throat, and then at the heart. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and 1, 2. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. In, out, in, out. And now we come with the words. Sing me sacha kapalakantala. And sing me
sacha kaparikam hala. And sing me sacha kaparikam hala. Sing me sacha kaparikam hala. And sing me sacha kaparikam hala. Inhale and exhale. And breathe long and deep. Feel this inner vibration going up through the central column of your spine, from the crown to the base, and also meeting at the heart center in the middle. Breathe long and deep. Now again we're going to inhale up and exhale back. Inhale and exhale. And now we're going to go over your left side, up, over the right side and back, creating a spinal circle. And as we come up forwards, inhale, as we go back, exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. We change direction. To the center, and now we're going to open, down, down. One hand up, the other hand up, then face down and face down. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. Inhale. Double time. And these are the melodies that are arising from the source through you with this rhythmic pulse when you begin to listen. Let's change direction. And in the center. So we're going to repeat that now with the mantra, which is Vaje Param Tar Tat Harako. So these rhythms begin to arise in this very subtle vibration. Vaje Param Tar Tat Harako Upaje Raga Rasaram. And they begin to flow. So we're going to go slow. Vaje param tar tat harako. 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 Upaje
Upajera Gursaram. Upajera Gursaram. Upajera Gursaram. Upajera Gursaram. Baje Paramatar Tataharako. Upajera Gursaram. Tataharako. Upajera Gursaram. Baje Paramatar Tataharako. Upajera Gursaram. Baje Paramatar Upajera Gursaram. Slow, 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 slow. Quick, 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 quick. Slow, 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 slow. Quick, 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 quick. And slow, slow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back. Baje Paramatar Tataharako. Upajera Gursaram. And Baje Paramatar Tataharako. Upajera Gursaram. Inhale. Release your hands and your knees. Breathe long and deep. And feel the energy vibrating through your spinal column. Let your breath integrate the energy. Balance it. Rise up through the heart. And then there's one final movement which helps to bring that energy upwards. And we are leading with the elbows diagonally upwards and then sweeping round and back and under. And as we sweep up, the arm is spiraling up, the forearm is twisting. And we're opening up underneath the armpit. And it's like we have a big ball on the left and the right of us, and our hand is traveling up, over and behind that ball. And this is helping also to open the flow of the energy through the nerves that pass out through the spinal cord and nourish our organs. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, progressively getting higher. From below we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then quick, 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 quick. And this is the waves begin to rise up through you and bind yourself to the wisdom harboured in this song. Ugte tan tarang arang atagyan gita banda nang. Ugate tan terang arang at gyan git banda nam. So we have really two different movements in this. One is this lower one, and then this upper one, which is basically leading the movement with your elbows and letting the backs of the hands stroke against each other as they pass. And with it, you're turning your chest. Can you see that? So you have the backs of the hands together against each other, and you pull from your elbow forwards and back, and then you turn your chest and you pull the other direction. As you turn your chest, you bring your hands closer together. Inhale, exhale, and reach up and release. When you do it slowly for a long time, it's quite tiring. Okay, so let's just put that last bit together. So we go. Ugate tan terang arang atgyan gita banda nan. And again. Ugate tan terang arang atgyan gita banda nan. Ugate tan terang arang atgyan gita banda nan. Okay, and we'll leave it for there today and take a moment to breathe and integrate movements. Feel the flow of your breath. Now, as a final, bringing those movements together, we'll listen to the mantra together with the music, and just in the moments where those movements appear, we'll practice them together. And for the rest of the mantra, we'll listen to 3 rounds of the mantra. We'll just listen to the words. Here we go, and Baje Paramatara Tata Hariko Upajirak Rasaran. And again, Ugate Tan Tarangaran Atagyana Gita Bandanan Chaka Chakra Hey Dev Dana Famun Chaka Chaka Beyond Bhavana Atam Padesa Vesa Sanjamko Jabu Swachapa Jabe Sadare Kanchana Sikaya Kana Nakabu Bia sacha kaprakantala diam de buddha charauraham tatika hoatamapasakariki vijanam dadar. Here we go, and Vaje paramatara tatahariko upajira prasara, and ugatetam tarangaran atagyanakita bandana chakra chakra hey devdana famum chakra chakra biyam Lufana Atam Padesa Face Sanjam Go Japa Surajapa Jape Sadara He Kanchana Sikaya Kara Nakabo Beape. Here we go. Sing sacha kaprakantala diam de buddha charauraham tatika hoatamapasakariki. Here's your begging bowl. And here we go. Baje paramatara tatahariko upajira prasara, and ugatetam tarangaran atagyanakita bandana chakra chakra hey devdana famum chakra chakra biyam lufana Atamapadesa Face Sanjam Go Japa Swajapa Jape Sadara He Kanchana Sikaya Kala Nakalo Beape. Inhale and exhale. And so feel how these rhythms and pulses have begun to affect your mind and your body and your energy, your auric field. And feel how this auric field is now connecting with everybody else that is joining us today and creating a vibrant field of creative spirit. And we direct this pulse towards the regeneration of our own psyche, and of all those near and dear to us. And in ever-increasing circles, to the rest of humanity and this planet. And we feel how we are very integrally connected with the whole. Sat Nam. So in my experience of practicing this Raymond celestial communication with this music, which I've been doing now for the last month intensively, I have experienced a great influx of vital energy and many ideas coming to the surface, like all the different fragments of understanding and insights that I've had throughout my life are coming together in a coherence, and not just within me, but in conversations
and exchanges that I have with others. So it's a very Aquarian transformation that is occurring. And I would like to invite you to join me in this creative spirit for self-regeneration and regeneration of our whole humanity and planet. And we'll be continuing this for 40 days, and we'll actually be working in a group constellation that will help to heighten the effects of this practice. And that constellation will be a 12-faced solid known as a dodecahedron. And this is very closely related to the sacred geometry of the golden spiral. And so to experience that, please be invited to join us for the 40-day practice. And my thanks to Kumari and Manvir for their beautiful rendition of this mantra together with my melody and voice. And you can check that out also on the Shakti Dance website. So thank you so much for joining me. And let's close together, vibrating our true being, our Sat, throughout the energy column of the spine, and then radiating out like this golden torus field around us. And we'll do that 3 times. Inhale. Sat. The other way. Sat. And to the heart. Sat. Thank you. So obviously what we did today was not the whole celestial communication, but just a few excerpts. But you will come to learn through the guidance videos and the instructional video very precisely how these movements work. And as you've seen, in part they are quite intricate, and so it does take a while to learn. Usually it takes about a week to learn the whole celestial communication. So I will then be publishing, first of all, an instructional video, and then we'll have more guidance videos which show really precisely how to do the movements, and also explain more in detail about the effects and the meaning of the mantra.